Welcome to Butterflies of Wisdom, everyone, and Wisdom of Fashion. We're flowing both in on one feed. As you know, today is Thursday because the reason why we're recording this on a Thursday, not on a Friday, is because schedule's gotten all wonky. But Mel and I are here for you guys. So I have Mel with me, and today we're actually going to finish up where we started on Tuesday, CP 21, and which I called that episode. And then again on Wisdom of Fashion, we're actually going to be talking about walking across graduation stage, what you graduates should wear, and then what the guests should wear. So it's all about schooling. It's all about schooling today on the two different podcasts. I guess they go together because, as I said, they, if you don't push and shove when your child is about to graduate with their class, they won't let the child graduate because they think 21 is magic number. Hello, 17 and 18 are the magic numbers if the child can handle it, because there's a lot of adult transition programs in Colorado and in California that you don't necessarily have to be in high school to be affiliated with those programs. So, yeah. So I wish they would change the laws, but they're not going to. And I have been filling out job applications for my next, when I get my associate's degree, I want this job to start while I'm getting my associate's degree. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today too. But before I bring Mel in, I want to say that you guys have been wonderful. You guys have been putting up with me for God knows how many years now. And I believe 4 years we celebrate this podcast being up for 4 years, even though it's transformed itself. Butterflies and Wisdom of Fashion is a little bit younger, so to speak. And then, so basically you guys have been the best. And so I want to just say something that on most job applications online, they say, do you have a disability? And one of the choices in their list is cerebral palsy, and it's optional. But as I was talking to Eric Goll, who has a disability podcast, he says to all of us, including me, that equal opportunity employers are more and more. So you guys should seriously think about hiring equal opportunity employer, because we get the job done 110%. Give us directions, we do them to a T, and it's not even funny. I mean, I hand my producer, you guys know my producer, Danielle, who does the scheduling for this podcast. She's not only my BFF, she's my assistant, she's my partner in crime, but she also has CP. And I asked her many, many times, do you want a paycheck? And she's like, no. And as soon as I can afford to give her one, I will. But my point being is she can do the scheduling 110%. I don't have to put a finger on my schedule because I gave it to a disabled person. Now, granted, she has a speech impediment, and granted, she has CP, but yet I am seeing her for gifts and talents. So that's all I wanted to say before I bring Mel in. Mel, do you have any advice for those listening?
You know, by the way, hello everybody, and thank you for having me on again, Wynn. You know, I was thinking about what you had said earlier about, you know, if you don't push and shove your way through, they're not going to let you walk at graduation. It makes me remember, you know, there's some parallels here, obviously not to the level you're at, but not a lot of people know this. But I dropped out of 10th grade and I repeated it, and I ended up graduating high school in 5 years. I just was not a very, let's just say, focused student back then. But what I did was, in going back to school, and, you know, I'm so glad that I did. In the final, I'd say three or 4 months or so of school, my teacher said to me, hey, if you don't do exactly what we tell you to do, you are not going to graduate with your class. And that meant to me that I wasn't going to walk, you know, across the stage to get my diploma. Well, in relation to those kids that have CP or any type of disability, if you are able to and you're functioning enough and you earned it, by all means you should be able to do it. Because if I had not been able to do that and have my mom there and watch it, you know, I never would have had that experience. And I think every high school student, no matter what your circumstance is, should be able to have that opportunity if you have earned it, right? Now, having said that, what law has to change in order for that to happen? Do you think we should leave it up to the discretion of the school if the student has passed the curriculum and is, you know, and has the ability to do so? I think they should be. You know, I think it should be a case by case thing. Of course, there's going to be some situations where the student cannot because they're not able to and they don't have the capability, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't think they should lump in every person into that category simply because of a disability. I mean, what about me? I mean, I came back. I remember working at Taco Bell and also at Fremont Raceway picking up garbage on Sunday morning after those Saturday night drag races. And I had an epiphany at that age thinking, oh my God, this is not the life I want. Right? And I said, okay, let me go back to school. And as painful as that was, I still did it. You know, so what about the person, you know, at 16, 17 who has a disability or whatnot, and they are working through and they're fighting and they're meeting the curriculum. They are doing the classes. They are meeting the curriculum. They're passing the testing just like an able-bodied student. Why should they not have that opportunity? And how do we make that happen? What do you think, Wynn?
We make that happen by advocates like me. I feel like going into the schools now and doing pieces on these kids and pieces on these, writing pieces on these parents, because these special ed parents are not going to, unless the advocates walk in there and march in there and say, look, this is what needs to go on, these special ed teachers are not going to, I hate to get out of my soapbox, but here we go. These special ed teachers are not going to listen. They're not going to listen to their parents. They barely listen to my mom, let alone me. And because I was a minor at the time, they had my parents sign paperwork. I believe both my mom and dad signed it. So because when you graduate high school, you're not 18 yet. No one's 18 yet. I graduated high school at age 17. I was the older graduate of high school. But I believe that if these self-advocates don't push and shove and get these kids on to jobs or get these kids on to at least job coaching, I believe that these special ed teachers are not going to listen.
Right. That's right. Yeah, there's got to be a voice for them. And guess what? It's going to be you. But anyway.
Unfortunately,
you can look at it one of two ways. Yeah, but you know what? Why not, right? You are the champion for them.
Unfortunately, it's going to be me.
You are
yes.
You are the champion for them, and ironically, you're going into an educational endeavor right now with fashion journalism, where you're going to have even a stronger voice, a more credible voice, if you will, in another pathway. So why not? Why not? You have time,
why not?
And there shouldn't be there cannot be a timeline or a deadline to it. It just has to be set in motion and followed through.
Yep.
That's all. And once it gains traction, if you want to get really big at anything, you start really small, and you let that snowball build by setting in motion. And if it doesn't, then
this podcast has helped too. This podcast will help my portfolio before we even get the training. The reason why I'm doing the official training is just to learn the journalism skills, and I'm not necessarily using it for writing, using it for fashion journalism per se, although I will be in the curriculum vitae, but that's about it. But I told the Academy of Arts, I said, if I need to switch my podcast to switch both of my podcasts to get the interviewing skills down pat to interview up-and-coming fashion designers, guess what? The podcast is going to be switched. There's no question about that. So we'll see what my professors say about that. But they're like, when I said that, I'm dead serious. Come heck or high water, I'm going to get this degree, and I'm going to walk still.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's going to be an interesting process, but I believe that advocates need to be out there for these kids so then they don't get stuck in the same position. I almost did. I'm not saying that I did, but I almost did.
Well, it's no accident that you are in the position that you are in. You are definitely a high-level influencer, and we all are. Anytime you're in the public eye like this, you have an opportunity to better everyone else and improve everyone else. And you may not even realize it. You may go into the public eye, with whatever motivation and inspiration you have it, but there's bigger things out there that are directly connected to you that you may not realize that you can affect. And I'm sure, as you have discovered through your podcast and over the months and years you've done it, and through your writing, through your authoring, through your Kona triathlon competitions, you never know who's watching. You never know who you're inspiring, right? And then you become advocates for certain things that you don't realize are important not only to you but to others. That's why what we do is very, very important. That's right.
And so
important.
My dream job is going to be in creative field, as you guys all know. And I'm looking because I'm slowly but surely walking away from my original career, even though my original career had a rough start to it. Now it's fabulous, but I am slowly but surely walking away from that because I'm not making enough money in that career, and that's public knowledge. I mean, teachers, public, private, XYZ don't make enough money. I believe tutors make more money than outside the classroom than I do inside the classroom. So that's why I'm truly walking away from my job. And that's why I'm truly getting a degree in the advocacy field / writing field / the fashion journalism field, because I need more money. I need a stable income that doesn't go monkey out the door when summer hits. I mean, you guys don't know this, teachers don't get paid during the summer, and I can't do it anymore. I mean, I'm no spring chicken anymore. I am almost 30 years old, and I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm a no spring chicken. And plus, I have a disability. So I have been thinking a lot about this past May and June. And that's why I applied and got in to the Academy of Arts in San Francisco, because this is something I really want to do, and I really want to help you guys. I really want to help those up-and-coming fashion designers understand Fashion Week. And yes, you will see me on the sidelines of New York Fashion Week. I highly think that, because guess what? They had a model with Down syndrome walk in New York Fashion Week, and the New York Times did an expose on her a couple years ago. And so she was the first woman to walk with Down syndrome in New York Fashion Week. And no, she did not fall over. And so, yes, you will see me, and the moment I say this, be sitting on the sidelines of New York Fashion Week or something to that effect. And so this is why I really want how fun. No, how fun. Well, it's not easy to get into New York Fashion Week, no matter how skilled you are. So, so this is why I really want to help these advocates, and not only the advocate side, but the disabled side, understand the disabled more ways than one.
Well, your appearance there would be just incredible representation. You know, your voice will be at a higher level at that point. Yeah. If you're there at Fashion Week in New York, I mean that would be a tremendous opportunity. Not let alone what Fashion Week in Paris, right? So how do people get to that level? Well, it's a combination of things. You got to set the things in motion. You got to work the background, your education or whatever the case may be, and then developing relationships with the right people consistently, and being consistent with your content and your voice until the right opportunities and the right people are present themselves to you, and you get to that point. I can tell you in my career alone, I've set the courses for all the ships I've steered moving forward with some idea, of where I'm going to end up. But I don't get too bogged down with, where I'm going to end up. I have a very good, clear, broad, and specific picture. And the funnest thing about it and the beauty about it is along the way, you get to meet some dynamic people who are like-minded and like-valued, and they share your vision. And it's just, they hop on board because they're like, hey, I was looking for the same thing. There's an adage. There's someone out there who wants exactly what you're offering, and for the people who don't, so what? Some will, some won't, so what? Because someone else out there wants exactly what you have to offer. And as long as you're moving forward in strength and passion and love and dedication, great things happen. Exceptional things happen when you work real hard and if you're really kind. So I have no doubt that you'll be at Fashion Week. Not at all, I mean, how many people do you know that have CP that write books and have, done what you've done, that have set the same thing in motion? Do you know of anybody else? When?
The host has joined the conference.
Mel, keep going.
Hi. Oh, okay.
Hi. Let me just make sure this is recorded, and then you can keep going. Technology cut out on me. That's what happened.
You gotta love it. Are we on?
We will be on.
Okay.